Greetings from the northwest corner of Alaska. Yeah, welcome to Cabin Fever. I'm here on a caribou hunt with my brother and some nephews and some friends. And yeah, we're hunting, northwest of Kotzebue, Alaska, and southwest of Barrow. I think it's Barrow. But anyway, yeah, we're out here. We're on day 4 of our hunt. And not a lot of luck right now. The migration isn't exactly coming through here. So not for lack of trying, though. I'll tell you what. You know, this caribou hunting is not for the faint of heart. We're hiking, we got some old guys. We're hiking about 5-6 miles in a day. And the young guys are doing about 10, 12, 15 miles. And we're hiking up these bluffs here, which are pretty high, believe it or not. I'll give you a little panorama of what we're looking at. Yeah. Anyway, climbing up those bluffs is not easy. I tell you what. There's this thing called hummocks in Alaska, and that's part of the tundra terrain. And what happens, you get these frost boils that come up, and then vegetation grows over it, and you walk over that. It's like walking over 6 inches of sponge, but underneath it you got volleyballs and maybe softballs under it. So it's a tough walk, and it'll wear you out in a hurry. But especially when you're an old geezer like myself. But anyway, yeah, let's talk about that. You know, walking through tundra, especially in these elevations that we're going in, we're climbing to the tops of all these things and around and to the next valleys and stuff. Yeah, it's difficult, and very difficult, in fact. And but you know, I think it was M. Scott Peck. Don't quote me on this because I don't have my cell phone or internet here to verify it. But I think he said he begins his book on a purpose-driven life saying, "Life is difficult." And once we accept that fact, we can begin to enjoy those little pearls or those moments that we have in our life. And that's true for our hunting camp and being out here in nature too. So Alaska's a big country. It's a neat place to be. You know, one of the experiences I had when we were up way high, like up in here someplace, up on the top, and it rains most days here. If you're lucky, you get some sunshine, and it's been anywhere from 27 to maybe in the 40s. So it's been fairly chilly. But anyway, fog comes in, rain, and so forth. And there's a point at which you get up in these elevations, and the cloud cover and the fog, you can't see anything. In fact, me and a buddy, Marty, got separated, and you know, without a G.P.S, you didn't know which direction to turn. And for all you knew, you would probably step over a cliff. But anyway, so thank God for modern technologies. We had a GPS. We could always track ourselves and get ourselves back to square one. But, you know, life is like that. Sometimes we're walking through those hummocks of life, difficult times, difficult moments in our life. And sometimes the fog rolls in and we don't know where we're going. I think it was Meister Eckhart, don't quote me on this either, but he talked about the cloud of unknowing and how God is present even in those moments that we don't know which direction to turn. And think about the Old Testament when God appeared to Moses, the cloud descended upon Mount Sinai, received the 10 Commandments, and then people followed that cloud filled with fire all the way to the Promised Land. And even on Mount Tabor, give you a little view of that mountain up there. You know, a cloud descended, and then Jesus was transfigured before them. So a cloud is not only a symbol of the mystery of God, but I think there's a real reality there too. And we need to know that too. And when we're in that fog, so to speak, that God is still present, probably more present in more ways than not, because it takes faith, you know, to get through that cloud. And again, like I said, we had a GPS, so we could get ourselves out of that. And I was thinking about, well, what is GPS? What would be a biblical translation of that? How about God's GPS stands for Global Positioning Satellite, and that's what we're using when we're out here. But what do you think about GPS being God's positioning spirit? if it weren't for that GPS, we probably wouldn't find ourselves out of that fog. And I think that's true for ourselves too. If we don't have God's positioning satellite to get us through those difficult times, we're pretty lost, and we're just wandering. I don't know what you call it, but anyway. So think about that. How does God's GPS, God's positioning spirit, work for you? And that's the title of this cabin faith, is God's positioning spirit needs to guide us in so many ways. So just to prove to you that there are caribou around here, I'm just going to show you this this beautiful antler. This is an antler shed. If I get that out, how these caribou can carry these antlers for a year, grow them in a year, and then shed them. This isn't shed that was found, and and still grow new ones every year. It's amazing. So this is a shed of a nice bull caribou that we were hoping to come in contact and shoot, but so far it's been pretty slim. We have seen some mountain goats. Today I was fortunate to see some mountain goats. That's how high we are, and that was probably the highlight of my experience here. So anyway, I want to show you our camp as well. Let's take a look at this. We got a gun here ready for a grizzly bear, because this is bear country. This is my pack over here, if you can see that. And I tell you what, when you carry a pack of about 30, 40 pounds up those mountains, like I said, it's not for the faint of heart. So anyway, here's our camp. Take a look at this. Here's some of the guys. It gets pretty wet in here when it's raining, but that's kind of how we got things set up. And anyway, these are the fellows I'm with right now. Here's our campfire. We're gonna roast potatoes on here, hopefully pretty quick. So I want to introduce you a few of our hunters. You guys just put up with me, will you? This is my brother Ray. He's the mastermind. He put this all together for us, and so we're thankful for that. And we didn't get any caribou. This is our last day, or tomorrow we fly out. Right. The bush plane will pick us up. But who knows? Maybe there'll be a stray caribou come through. So
we're ready for it.
This brother Ray, Marty Mahold, you might recognize him. Believe it or not, he likes to hunt too. So he's from St. Paul's Parish, and Marty, any words of wisdom?
You might recognize me from other hunts in the past. I play a hunter on TV.
Hunter on TV? You really? You're a celebrity? Is that Hardly. And this is Paul. Scheierl.
Hey guys.
My brother Ray's brother. These guys are the hardcore guys. Yeah. This is Charlie. What's the last name? Boshek. And he's a friend of Paul and John. And John here is getting our potatoes ready. Hey. All right. So now these young boys, they're the hardcore hunters. They're putting on 12, 15 miles a day.
They're just showing off.
Yeah, they are. We were hoping they would chase the caribou to us, but that didn't happen. But us old guys, Marty, my brother Ray, and myself, we have to...
the 60-something.
Yeah, the 60-something. Like I said, you got to be in pretty good shape. My legs are still hurting from the 4 days. So, Ray, you got anything to say at all? Or
no, and just like you say, we went about 2 miles back in, took about 3 hours to get there.
Yeah.
So
it's all uphill. The only reward to that is going downhill at the end of the day. It takes about 1/3 of the time, maybe. So anyway, this is our caribou camp, and thanks for joining me in Cabin Faith. And remember, like I said, the hummocks of our life, those hummocks, by the way, I mean, it's very exhausting walking through those, but that can happen with a lot of things in our life, symbolically. But anyway, and remember that G.P.S, God's positioning spirit, that can help us through the fog, because we ran into plenty of it. Today's actually a pretty decent and clear day. So we're fortunate that, but it's quite chilly. So anyway, take care. God bless you from Alaska. A beautiful, beautiful state, a big country out here. It's great to be out here. And this is kind of a bucket list item that I've always wanted to do, and for about 15 years, and able to do it. And caribou and no caribou, it's all about the experience and enjoying those pearls, those little diamonds, even when it's difficult at times to hike up those mountains, are difficult in life. So anyway, looks like they're going to get supper ready pretty quick. So I'm going to sign off and say God bless you, and take care, and hope to see you in the next adventure, whatever that might be. Take care. God bless.